Divorce happens. In fact, it happens to almost 50% of first marriages. So let's talk about it. Welcome to Divorce Happens, a podcast to educate, inspire, support, and yes, make you laugh through divorce and beyond so that you can start fresh on the next phase of your journey. Remember, divorce happens, and then we start fresh.
You get divorced. You get divorced.
Getting divorced?
I'm getting a divorce.
You're getting a divorce.
Because she's getting a divorce.
So what if I get divorced?
Hello. Welcome back to Divorce Happens, the podcast where we support you before, during, and after divorce with education, inspiration, and a little bit of laughter because as we know, divorce happens and then you start fresh. And we're here with one of our Fresh Starts experts, Laura Fink. Laura, can you please introduce yourself to everybody?
Hi, I'm a therapist, a master certified coach and guide for high-achieving women who are ready to stop performing and start leading lives that actually feel like theirs. And I really support people untangle their inner blocks that keep them stuck in burnout, self-doubt, and overdoing so that they can create success that's rooted in power, clarity, and freedom.
So, Laura, one of the questions I get a lot from people is, should I stay or should I go, right? I'm considering divorce. I don't know if I should stay. I don't know if I should go. And, it's one thing to talk to your friends about it, maybe your sister about it. But why is it really important for women or couples that are kind of in that gray area of consideration to work with somebody like you, who's a therapist, who's worked with people through this? Why would you say people should have somebody else on their support team before the divorce process when they're considering divorce?
Oh, getting a divorce is such a big decision. It deserves the attention. It deserves the processing of thinking about what is my life if I move forward with this? What is my life if I stay? There's just so much to consider, and you're standing at the edge of two futures, and neither one is fully clear yet. A therapist is a much more supportive space, obviously, than your friends or your family, because once you start spilling your guts, people are going to have opinions and thoughts, and they're going to make the other person the bad guy. It just gets way too messy. If I can get the very first advice is don't talk about it with people, go seek help immediately so that you can start thinking about it out loud in a non-judgmental, objective space.
I love that. Would you say, I know there's no right or wrong answer for this, but typically do people go alone, independently to a therapist, or they go to a couples counselor?
If they come to me as a couple, there's such a range. But if they're coming to me in crisis, that's almost too late, unfortunately. Those sessions are I'm a referee where there's just a lot of fighting and a lot of stuff built up over so many years, and they want someone to validate them. That's not that much fun, and there's a lot of sifting through that. But a lot of people come to me individually. I think that's almost more valid so that you can get clear first about where you're at. And not only about where you're at in terms of should I stay or should I go, but what are your patterns? What can you be responsible for? Nothing happens in a vacuum. It's not all the other person's fault. So that when you're in a clear space of just I want to look at me and where I'm at and what kind of life that I want to live. I think that's sometimes more powerful than going into a couples counseling space in crisis, ready to fight and having someone try to validate you or not.
Yeah, I did the couples ready to fight thing. So I understand.
Everyone does that.
Yeah, and it was more, ended up being more of a let's counsel our way out of this marriage instead of counseling. But I did do therapy independently, and that was what helped me figure out that I wanted to get divorced. Can you just give us an idea, if somebody's listening to this and they're I've either never been to therapy, or we are considering this together, or I'm considering this because I'm thinking about divorce, what would be some questions people could journal on kind of in this space before they come talk to you?
That's a great question. Start thinking about, there's probably a lot of upset and pain. So you could just start thinking about how did I get here? How did we get here? And just start flowing your thoughts. What are the issues in our relationship that has me in this much pain that I want to leave? And usually we just do on the surface, money, or they don't put away the dishes, or they're so selfish. But then as we start writing more and more, we uncover like, what am I really yearning for? What's happening inside of me that I'm so triggered and hurt? So believe it or not, the more you write, the less it becomes about these very specific things that are making you upset to the core issues, the core things that are important to you.
I love that. I love that. So, Laura, where do you work? How do you work if somebody's interested in working with you?
I work virtually. I am in the state of New Jersey. I live in Westfield, but I work virtually one-to-one. You can find me on Instagram or through my website to book a session.
Amazing. And if somebody's listening to this, going through a divorce or considering a divorce, as somebody that has worked with a lot of people considering this, what would be some words of encouragement that you could leave them with?
There's still a huge stigma around it, unfortunately, although it's so normal. I'm in my 40s, so I'm seeing tons of divorces or at the very least, unhappy marriages. I think just lather yourself with self-love and support and keep your circle small during the divorce process because people are going to have a lot of opinions and you don't need that right now. You need to be focused on you and what you want to do and stand firm in that and be surrounded by people that will support you.
I love that. Well, you can always find Laura at Fresh Starts on the Expert Guide. We appreciate your brilliant professional advice, and please reach out to her if you would like to work with her. Thanks so much, Laura. Divorce Happens is produced by Fresh Starts Registry, the only divorce registry platform for everything you need to begin again, including home items, hype team, and everything in between. Remember, divorce happens, and then we start fresh. We're here to support you before, during, and after divorce. Head to freshstartsregistry.com for more info.